The next 7-star Tera raid event has officially been announced, and it's everybody's favorite Gen 2 starter, Typhlosion, but with a Ghost Tera type. So let's take a look at a couple builds that could absolutely dominate this 7-star raid and help you take down Typhlosion the Unrivaled as quickly as possible. But before we get started, consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on more content like this. And remember, you can always undo it later. With that, let's get to the builds. So looking at Typhlosion, we know that Typhlosion is just base fire type. However, we do know he's going to have a Ghost Tera type. And looking at his stats, we can see that he is a relatively high special attacker, which means that odds are this isn't going to be a mixed attacker. This is just going to be a straight special attack Typhlosion. Typhlosion's defense stats also really aren't that great, which means that as long as we bring in some Pokemon with strong attack or special attack, we should have no problem taking him out. So with that, let's take a look at some Pokemon that we can use to do that, honestly, pretty quickly. All right, and starting off our list of Pokemon that are going to be good to go against Typhlosion, we have level 100 Houndoom. Now this is dark and fire type, meaning that we are going to be able to do some serious damage to Typhlosion during the raid. Our held item for this one is the Shell Bell, which is always just a really solid held item to start off with, and that may change when the raid comes out, but for right now, we're sticking with that. As far as EVs go, we have max EVs in our special attack, and then we have 212 EVs in our special defense and 44 in our speed with the ability Flash Fire. Flash Fire is a really good ability for this, especially going against Typhlosion, as it allows us to absorb flames and use them to power up our own fire type attacks. We're not going to power up any fire type attacks that we have, but we can still absorb his attacks. Our moveset for this is Taunt, Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, and Helping Hand. The strat for this one is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. You're going to start off, use Taunt, first move, and then spam Nasty Plot to boost yourself up, and Dark Pulse to deal as much damage to Typhlosion as you possibly can. Helping Hand is there in case you're doing online raids, and you want to help out and, help boost somebody else's attack up so they can do even more damage. And as far as nature goes for this one, we have a modest nature, so special attack up, physical attack down, because we're a special attacker and not a physical attacker. But that's Houndoom. This one's going to be a pretty solid choice to go against Typhlosion. Next up, we have a fan favorite in Charizard. So this one, again, level 100. Its Tera type is Fire. We have the Shell Bell as our held item yet again, because it's a really solid held item, and it's going to allow us to get some of that HP back while we're facing it off against Typhlosion. Now, as far as EVs go, we have max EVs in our physical attack and special defense, with the remainder of our EVs, so 4 of them in our speed on Charizard. We also have an adamant nature, so physical attack up, special attack down. Our ability is Blaze, and the moveset for this one is Belly Drum, Crunch, Helping Hand, and Scary Face. And the strat for this one is pretty simple. You're going to hop in first turn. Typhlosion is outspeeding you. You're going to use Scary Face. It's going to harshly lower its speed. After that, you're going to proceed to use Belly Drum and then spam Crunch to do as much damage as you can to Typhlosion the Unrivaled. And again, Helping Hand is here. If you're in online raids doing this with a group of friends, this is there in case you need to boost somebody else's attack in order to be able to add that finishing blow to Typhlosion. But yeah, that's Charizard. This one's going to be a really solid build. That fire typing is going to make it so that Typhlosion doesn't do a ton of damage to this. And the fact that we have access to Belly Drum Crunch is going to make this one super, super, super easy to use. Now for the next one, we have a mixed support attack Pokemon in Umbreon. Now Umbreon is just straight dark typing with the dark Tera type. Same thing, level 100 Shell Bell is the held item. It's a really solid held item, guys. As far as EVs go, we have max EVs in our special attack and special defense on Umbreon, and we also have our additional 4 EVs in our HP just for that little extra boost. Our ability is Synchronized, which is going to protect us in case we get burned by Typhlosion during this raid. And we have, again, a modest nature, so special attack up, physical attack down, with the moveset Dark Pulse, Fake Tears, Helping Hand, and Calm Mind. With the strat for this one, the idea being the same as most of the other ones. Spam Dark Pulse to deal as much damage as possible. Use Calm Mind to boost your stats up if you want to deal some extra damage while you're using Dark Pulse. And then Fake Tears and Helping Hand. These two are really here in case you're doing online raids or if you're doing raids with like local friend groups and things like that. Helping Hand being able to raise an ally's attack, and then Fake Tears being able to drop Typhlosion's special defense. This is going to be really good if, like Samurott, Typhlosion decides to throw a shield up after like 2 or 3 turns. You spend the first 2 or 3 turns spamming Fake Tears, then use Calm Mind, spam Dark Pulse, and just absolutely stomp him into the ground. But yeah, that's Umbreon. This one gonna be super solid, good attacker and support Pokemon as well. Just really solid all around if you're doing this online. Could be really helpful to have one of these in your party at all times. And rounding out the list, we have one of my favorites, Ceruledge. Now this one's a fire ghost type with a ghost Tera type. Level 100 with the Shell Bell as its held item, just to restore that health as we're dealing damage to Typhlosion. We have max EVs in our physical attack, and then on this one we have things split a little bit. So we have 132 EVs in our special defense, and then 124 EVs in our speed. Our ability on this one should actually be Flash Fire, not Weak Armor. I'm missing an ability patch at the moment. And our move set for this one should be Sword Stance, Shadow Claw, Leer, and Helping Hands. And the strat for this one being that you're going to hop in, you're going to use Leer the first couple turns until Typhlosion decides that it wants to cleanse. Then you're going to start using Sword Stance until you max yourself out. Spam Shadow Claw to do as much damage as you can, especially with that heightened chance of a crit. And if you're in an online raid and you need to help somebody out, use Helping Hand to boost their attack and deal even more damage. We also have, this one has an adamant nature, so physical attack up, special attack down. And yeah, this one, this is probably one of my favorites. This will be the Pokemon to use. This will be the end-all be-all for Typhlosion raids. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, 4 super solid raid-ready builds to help you take out the Ghost-type Typhlosion 7-star raid as easily and quickly as possible. And those again are Houndoom, Charizard, the mixed attack and support Umbreon, and my personal favorite, the monster that is Ceruledge. So, these builds are super easy to make. They should take you next to no time at all. Get out there, make these builds. Let me know how they work for you down in the comments below and what other ideas you guys have. And make sure to stay tuned because I'll have plenty more builds and strats coming your way as Typhlosion raids approach. And remember, you got this. I believe in you guys. Now get out there, make these builds, and get to it.